feel like I died.
You did.
Well, if I died, I went to heaven, because I'm looking at this room, it's almost full of women. All virgins, no doubt. I was Muslim. No, I'm so happy to be here. I'm a strong believer that the arts are a huge part of a well-rounded education. My grandma, Chapin, taught me that at an early age when she decided that her grandchildren, her 4 boys, were going to learn the language of music, and put us in this little school in Greenwich Village to learn instruments. You all know about, and I know about, the huge budget pressures that are happening. I'm a New York guy, grew up in New York City, and in New York public schools and in Los Angeles public schools, there are no arts. Unless a principal rarely wants to kind of stake their world on it, or there's a very strong and rich PTA who insists. Otherwise, it just does not exist. And I believe that music, dance, drama, painting, drawing, poetry are all part of educating for the real world. So I've become involved in advocating for the arts. As I said, I live in New York. I've been to Albany a couple of times, talking to our elected officials. I even testified once at a New York state congressional hearing to help keep the arts budget from being cut. All these congressmen and senators and arts advocates talking and testifying. But I'm a songwriter, so I wrote a song. If you sort through the data, you'll find as a rule that kids who have the arts do much better in school. In song and in the dance, on the canvas, on the stage, art gives life to the lessons they read on a page. Oh, you can't spell smart without art. You can't spell smart without art. You're gonna need art for to get a good start. You can't spell smart without art. Help me out. Oh, you can't spell smart without art. You can't spell smart without art. You're gonna need art for to get a good start. You can't spell smart without art. We nurture the mind of each boy and each girl. Imagination's needed in this challenging world. But the arts are an answer to an old paradox. How to teach a whole class to think out of the box. Oh, you can't spell smart without art. You can't spell smart without art. All the testing will tell you it's there on the chart that you can't spell smart without art. You're not singing too well here. You're singing like art teachers. Oh, you can't spell smart without art. You can't spell smart without art. All the testing will tell you it's there on the chart that you can't spell smart without art. Now the arts make kids more likely to start on a path to do better in schoolwork like science and math. So help out our teachers, provide them with tools. Watch our kids grow and blossom with arts in our schools. Oh, you can't spell smart without art. You can't spell smart without art. Yes, science and reading and math do their part. All the testing will tell you it's there on the chart. If you cut all the spending, you'll break all our hearts. 'Cause you can't spell smart without art. Well, I'm a big fan of teachers. You know, I know how hard a job it is, and the pressure on teachers now are greater than ever. As a kid who grew up in New York City, I'm a product of, and a believer in, a great fan of America's public education. I attended PS 41 in Greenwich Village, Then my mom and I remarried, and we moved to Brooklyn Heights, PS8 in Brooklyn Heights, then on to Brooklyn Technical High School, and then on to State University of New York in Plattsburgh, New York. I was on the 6-year program there. But I'm a big fan of teachers. I know how hard a job it is. And the pressures on teachers are now greater than ever. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I so appreciate, I'm a father now and a grandfather, and I so appreciate the tough job that faces every teacher. I believe you need all the help you can get. Anything that excites a student, opens their eyes, hearts and minds, is a positive to make kids invest in school. It makes the whole education experience more exciting, more palatable, more fun, and makes learning easier, and as studies suggest, more possible. Art, music, drama, sports. Those are what kept me involved in school. And these very things that make a teacher's and a student's job easier and more rewarding, what has been and continues to be cut from schools across the country. It's no secret the American industry has outsourced most factory jobs to other countries to take advantage of cheaper labor costs. So why are we putting so much effort into a form of education in which there is no creativity? This is the time that our youth should be taught to think out of the box, not be put into a tighter one. This is the larger context that John Forster and I wanted to address in the song that Karen mentioned, Not on the Test. It was the last week of the year in 2006. John and I wrote this song, sent it to National Public Radio, our contact, and she found a story to link it to. If you're going to be on radio, it has, morning. How many of you listen to Morning Edition? Sure. You're the ones. And it's very seldom to hear a song, and if you do, it has to be tied, really tight and tied to a story. So she found a story to link it to about education, and that was but unfortunately it was the day before the day after Gerald Ford died. So you know what happens when a major celebrity or a politician dies? They just bounce a whole bunch of stuff, including me. And the song got bounced and bounced and bounced, and finally he said, okay, it's on tomorrow, 7 a.m. And I said, great, I got an email. And that day was 7 a.m. on January 1st, 2007. Great drive time. I bet dozens of people heard it. But 5 of those were teachers who either had a very late night or a very early morning, I don't know. And they immediately wrote my website and said, how do we get this song? So I put it up on the website, and then a month or two later, a friend of mine, Paul Katz, president of a wonderful small company called Commit Media, said, we should make a video of this, and we did. And there's a website as well, but here's the song.